Yeah, Luka's a special talent. He made some incredible shots, but he was able to get a lot of those too off of offensive rebounds by Gafford or their wings, and they set a tone from the start. You know, for our team, we've been pretty good at the physicality and coming in prepared for games. But tonight, it just looked like our energy was kind of there, but we didn't have the physicality or the presence. And for our team to have success, we have to have both.
The three-point shooting too felt like maybe a combination of the second chance stuff and the driving kick. What was obviously those guys were really good at staying in front of them, but was it kind of just a little bit of that? They just kept getting in the paint and just had to scrambling there defensively.
Yeah, they're one of the best offenses in the league for a reason. You know, those two are elite players. You know, they create a lot of opportunities for guys because you can't allow them to just play isolation the entire game. So you have to send two, and they've learned to do a good job of not only just spacing the floor and taking the shots that are open, but being aggressive downhill to create a second drive for that next rotation and scrambling the defense around. So you have to shrink the floor early so that way, you know, they do a great job. You know, Luka does a phenomenal job of when he comes off the screen, he looks to the basket first, and adding that addition of Gafford is incredible. Like, he's going to make them a really, really great contender this year. His ability to catch the ball, great hands, him and Lively. And Lively didn't even play tonight. That's a presence that I know a lot of teams don't want to face.
Obviously, the team's just looking for their next head coach, and one of the names that's kind of going around is Sean Sweeney. Having played in Dallas and played for Coach Sweeney, just what do you think he'd bring to the organization if he were selected?
Yeah, Sweeney's one of those coaches that brings a competitive edge. He has a passion for the game of basketball. He is a person that, you know, has a level of discipline in his own work. He's one of the hardest workers that I think I've been around as a coach. And he's definitely aggressive in views, and that's how it's supposed to be. You know, he has a confident mindset, and he does a phenomenal job of getting guys prepared and ask guys to hold their standard, you know, to elite standard, both from a professionalism standard but also from a work standard. So he's a great coach.
Grant, any thoughts on Coach Clifford coaching his final home game? I know you haven't been here too long, but I'm sure you have some ideas.
Yeah, Cliff is one of my favorite coaches I've ever played for in my life, and in all honesty, it's like frustrating for me that we gave the performance that we gave tonight for his last home game here in Charlotte. It's one of those things that, you know, you don't expect to happen, but you want to give him the grace that he deserves. His ability, he's been one of those most tenured coaches in the league for a long time. Coached some of the best players to ever play this game, and has dedicated his life to it. So I'm thankful for Coach Cliff, and honestly, he's just given me an opportunity to be me and to play freely. And, you know, it's going to be sad seeing him go for sure.
Didn't get a chance to hear from you or any of the players after the news was announced that he was stepping down. What was that meeting like with Steve Clifford and you guys after he informed you that he would be stepping down?
Yeah, it was, for me, I can only speak for myself, but I was definitely caught off guard and kind of sad because, you know, I really enjoyed the time that I've had here in Charlotte so far, and I think that we have potential for the future. And I thought Cliff was going to be that guy that lead us to it. And, you know, sometimes you can't control things in the world, and it sucks that, you know, he's having to step away. And, you know, it definitely was a sad moment for me just because I really, really love Cliff as a coach and as a man. And he does a phenomenal job of communicating not only as a coach but also as a person. And I think everybody that's played for him or been around him can say that.
What's it kind of like for you, I guess, emotions to be able to play against your old team tonight? Is it kind of fun to kind of just be able to kind of get over kind of that rationale? What would you say about it?
Yeah, it was a game that, you know, you wish it was a little more competitive, but at the end of the day, those guys have a bright future this season of have a chance to really contend. And, you know, that's where we want to accomplish. That's where we want to be in Charlotte, you know. So their offensive pace and potential, like, that's something we have to learn from, and their ability to move the ball. Like tonight, they did a good job of just swinging that thing around, and even if they didn't make shots, they got second chance opportunities to then kick it back out for shooters. So just having that same mentality every single game of playing for one another, and then, you know, they did a great job of using their versatility, and that's something that I think our team has. So as we continue to grow and as we continue to learn, kind of picking up from the best teams that we play some of the best teams in this last stretch. So there shouldn't be any doubt in our mind, especially if we're competing, that we can be that. So now it's just a matter of how we bring together and stay together and really communicate with one another.
Spoke before the game that obviously the offense, you guys on that side are going to be very hard to contain. Was it the defensive rebounding in the first half that probably stuck out more than anything outside of kind of
Yeah.
their shot making?
Well, I would say Doncic, ISOs early, right, which are, hard. And then, the second chance points. And it's not all interior. Look, it's been our biggest weakness all year. If there was one from beginning to end with all the different lineups we've played, defensive rebounding's been a big problem. So, you give up 28 second chance points, it's hard to win.
You mentioned pregame that you didn't really want to talk too much about the last game here, but to be able to kind of have the ceremony we had, what was that like for you?
It was nice, really nice, and I appreciate, everybody putting, organization of that, and that's something that I'll treasure going forward, So obviously Kemba and Marvin, I'm really close with because I coached them longer, and I have a really good relationship with Brandon, and I'm looking forward to having that grow, over these next few, whatever years, as long as I'm still here. So that'll be something that I'll take, and, when I'm by myself, Rod, I'll watch it, and go from there. The thing that's hard tonight, that's really of the 8 games here at home, we just didn't have any intensity to start. And when you get down behind a team like that they put so much pressure on you when either one of those guys have the ball. Because really the 2 middle quarters, we played pretty well, a lot better. But you can't get behind like that at home. Especially they're playing, that's a huge game for them, So these next 3, Boston will be different probably, because they play Thursday, and that game's meaningless for them. So I don't know, but, like Sunday and tomorrow night for Atlanta, that'll be a big game for them.
Just talking about this Dallas team, obviously you guys have had a lot of the best teams in the league come here the past few weeks. Boston last week, Oklahoma City over the weekend. Where do you think this team kind of stacks up?
Well, I think they're playing right, since they changed their starting lineup, I believe they're 15-2 now, and they're bigger, and they were, I want to say before that, they were, I think, like top 5 in offense, but maybe like slightly better than middle of the pack, like maybe like 13th or 14th defensively. Since they made the change and went Jones Jr. with Gafford, with PJ, so they're bigger, they're top 10 in both. And when you're doing that, you're gonna be hard to play against in the playoffs.
Cliff, did you do anything differently today or tonight, or was it all exactly the same other than that ceremony for you?
No, same. We had shoot around at the same time and prepared the same way. So obviously the messaging didn't go well. That didn't really stick, so I'll have to do better on that tomorrow. But no, everything is the same. I actually think it's important that you do. I think, like for whatever time game it is, it's important for the players to have a routine. If you play in the afternoon, do this. If you play at 7, do this. If you play at 6, do this. I think it's easier for them,
What do you think the biggest difference was tonight compared to your games against Orlando and Oklahoma City?
Our readiness, our physicality. We just came out so flat, and then he was great. I mean, he made 5 threes, I believe, in the first quarter, and I think 4 of them were just ISOs. So, we're playing from a hole, and we never really got going in the game. I mean, we made a run at it, but we didn't play at nearly the intensity level that we have been, Good?